All right, Blue, without further ado, are you ready to see the Locked On Network preseason top 25?
Yes, I am. Bring it
So
on.
I have it for you. So no surprise, Georgia number 1, Michigan number 2, Ohio State 3, Bama 4th, USC 5th. I think it's going to be a strong year for USC. LSU number 6. I just hope they beat up Florida State week 1. After that, they can do whatever they want to do. Penn State 7. Manny Diaz in that defense. Then Clemson 8, Florida State 9, Washington 10, Texas 11, Utah 12, Tennessee 13, Notre Dame 14, Oregon 15, Kansas State 16, North Carolina 17, TCU 18, Oregon State 19, Wisconsin 20, Ole Miss 21, Oklahoma 22, Texas Tech 23, Iowa 24, and Texas A&M number 25. So then, Blue, if I look this over, top 25 teams Miami's got on the schedule, they've got number 8, Clemson, 9, Florida State on the schedule, 17, North Carolina, number 25, Texas A&M. So, listen, by ACC standards, this is not an easy schedule for Miami this year.
No, not at all. I think the first thing that I noticed when I looked at it is there's 16 from the soon-to-be defunct Pac-12.
Right, yeah, the Pac-4 has got good representation on there.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, when you have it's kind of funny. But you look at A&M, and obviously that's the early hurdle for Miami. And, you'd like to see them come out, and win that game and establish themselves and say, hey, you know what? If they were 25 and we beat them, shouldn't we at least get some, votes? Because after, Miami's first 5 games are really not tough other than the A&M game. So the pollsters might say, okay, they beat A&M. It was a home game. Let's wait till they get to North Carolina and Clemson. And if they win there, I think that's most likely going to happen. When you're 5, if they were 8-4 last year, then I could say, okay, but they were 5-7. And I think that's just a normal, reaction. You and I know better, and we understand how much Miami's improved. But the average person in Dubuque, Iowa doesn't, and they don't care. They just see 5-7 from a year ago.
Right.
And you look back, and Miami really should have beaten A&M last year in College Station. So I think that they're going to look at that game, and and obviously it's going to be a big win for Miami. But I think you'll start getting more of the love when you play North Carolina, you play Clemson, you play NC State. And I'll tell you what, like you said, in addition to those teams that you have up there, look at Louisville, look at NC State. Those teams are no pushover. So Miami's got a tough schedule, and still, is a long way to go. But I think, if they start crashing in a couple of doors that nobody figured they would, they'll get their due. But right now, you and I in the Hurricane Nation are feeling one way, and people in in New York and Illinois are thinking, hey, you know what? Let Miami prove themselves. They didn't even make a bowl game last year, and and that's the one thing that I take away from last year more than anything this offseason is the fact that I had to watch New Mexico State and Eastern Michigan play bowl games. And I think that it's so imperative for Miami to make a bowl this year. It's just no ifs, ands, or buts. They've got to make a bowl this year, and then everything will change. A lot of young talent, a lot of new faces, but I think it's going to add up to a lot of surprises this year. And I think that, as you and I said, maybe that North Carolina game, which everybody, is holding over. And I'm really kind of surprised that North Carolina's ranked because they're really Drake May and very, very little after that. I mean, let's be faced. They lost all 5 linemen. I mean, they lose 3 of the 6, of their front 7 on defense. So, I think that Miami's got a chance to beat somebody like that. Louisville and NC State as well. But I like the position they're in. You much rather see them not ranked than ranked off the beginning, so no one really is paying much attention.
Yeah, and I like this this a lot. We're going to be all the Locked On College hosts will be voting on this, every single week. Once the season starts, it's going to be a fluid top 25 throughout the year, so it's a good opportunity for all of our hosts. And Blue, to pick up on what you're saying, I have zero problem whatsoever with Miami missing the top 25
Yeah.
preseason. No problem with it, because go out there and prove it, right? You know, you and I and most of our listeners and viewers, we all follow what Miami has done to the roster and the
Sure.
overhaul and the talent
And
acquisition.
nobody else knows.
But they haven't proven a thing, though. Like, they
I
still have
agree.
not proven a thing. So go out there, win some games, beat A&M, go out there, beat in North Carolina, try to take a game from a team like Clemson or Florida State you're going to be big-time underdogs against, and go out there and prove it. I have no problem, because last year, we talk about how bad the roster was last year. They still shouldn't have gone 5-7. They shouldn't have lost to Middle Tennessee. So underperforming, I have zero problem whatsoever with Miami being off the preseason top 25. They have to go out there and prove it and earn it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And the very fact that, scouting Miami is going to be so tough at the beginning, because really, what do you have to go from? Your quarterback wasn't in place last year. He's back. The offensive line's a whole different deal. Your schemes are a lot different on defense. Yeah. Your whole offense is going to change dramatically because of that line and because of the depth at running back.